welcome back to Nomas podcast. Today we're going to be diving into this chilling incident that just developed a few days ago in Zapopan, Jalisco. Valeria Marquez, a popular social media influencer, was live streaming when a shocking and fatal attack took place, sending shockwaves across the internet.
La especulación está al máximo y muchos apuntan a dos amigas cercanas que estaban presentes, así como a un repartidor que llegó justo momentos antes de la tragedia. Vamos a desmenuzar los detalles conocidos, hablar de las personas que están bajo la lupa y explorar las diferentes teorías que están circulando sobre este caso. Acompáñenos mientras analizamos lo que ocurrió ese día, los posibles motivos detrás de este acto y lo que esto significa para el futuro y la seguridad en las plataformas digitales.
Just in case you didn't notice, we are trying something new with our intro. This isn't specific for this podcast episode. Eventually, we're going to go back to our original style, but welcome back to Nomas podcast, Chelo. Welcome to episode 117.
Okay, 117.
It's a lot, dude. 117.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, if you are new to the channel, I know I got quite a few new subscribers from the last episode. If you are new to the channel, welcome back to the podcast where we dive into trending topics that we just find very interesting, from maybe ayahuasca type of episodes, from paranormal, from conspiracy theories, just anything. Or people at times come in and share this story, right? I'm a very a strong believer that if somebody has a story to tell, it doesn't matter if you have high numbers in social media or if you have 100 people following you. It doesn't matter. For me, I'm a strong believer in storytelling, and if you have a very interesting story, then you'll probably be hearing it here on Nomas podcast. As mentioned, every Wednesday we have a new podcast. On Sundays we do a live. Today was an exception. We just couldn't make it happen, but every Sunday we do a live episode, 8 o'clock Sundays, Wednesdays, a new podcast episode. Okay, to start off, obviously you saw the intro, and if you have any sort of social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, more than likely you already came across this incident of Valeria Marquez. Chelo, if we can dive into a little bit of the first time you actually saw some posts on TikToks, do you recall any of it? What was the first impression? Were you confused at first?
At first I was confused because I kept seeing other people post about it, and I'm like, what are they talking about? Until I actually looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. It's
super sad. What makes this incident sad and specific in your point of view?
That your gut instinct never lies. And she knew, dude. She on the whole life, the little piece that we all saw, she keeps saying, I think she even says at one point, oh, me van a matar.
Yeah.
She knew, dude, that something wrong was gonna happen, and yet again she didn't listen to her gut instinct. And then maybe she would have listened to herself, dude, things would have turned out differently.
Dude, that's a very good point, dude. Every post that I kept seeing seeing online, it referred to that. She almost felt uneasy with herself, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. And I have a few videos here that I'm going to be uploading so you guys can see. And in case you're not familiar with the story, so you can kind of get a feel of the whole incident and our own theories of this case. I think I have something in particular that nobody's really talking about, and I just want to get your take, and hopefully I want to see what your guys' take is. But I haven't seen anybody talk about this, so I'm very interested in what the people have to say about it. So anything else that caught your attention with this case?
I think it's that, and the fact that it was her own freaking friends, or her own friends are the ones that are involved in all this situation.
Well, that's one of the first things, right? Everybody's pointing to the friends, right, of this of this incident. Well, first of all, if you don't know about this incident, can you give a brief description of actually that happened?
So basically, this girl, I think she was in her early 20s. I think she might have been 23, if I'm not mistaken the age. But she was in her early 20s. She had like a beauty salon, and she was going live, which I guess she did pretty often. And in the live, one of the friends, there's two. There's one that's the friend,
which is Vivian.
I think, yeah. And then there's another chick called Erika, and I guess Erika is the employee.
Right.
From the shop.
So that's very key right there. Vivian is the friend that, like, they were very, very close friends, and Erika was a coworker.
Or her employee.
Yeah.
So, one of them, I think it's Vivian, the one that tells her that, oh, you're going to have this expensive gift getting dropped off to you in a little bit, so just stay. So she was like telling her all these things to Valeria, and Valeria started like it was almost like a guessing game, like, oh, like, who's gonna drop it off, what do they look like? And I think even Valeria makes a comment saying like, oh, like, ya no me junto como con gente that are not into good things, or something like that.
Who said that?
Valeria.
Okay.
And then the friend's like, no, there's nothing wrong. And she just said, like, it's an expensive gift. So she keeps going live. And then that's when Valeria mentions something like, oh, a lo mejor ahora me van a matar. And then the friend's like, no. Like, why would you even think that?
Yeah.
But all the little things that Valeria kept saying, dude, like, it was just her gut instinct telling her, like, get the hell out of there.
Okay, so let's go ahead, and I have a few clips that pretty much depict everything that Chelo was saying right now.
Que me espere, dice la Vivian, que porque quiere ver mi cara. ¡Rápido, me tengo que ir! ¿Qué me mandará este hija? Me va a mandar una estupidez, te lo juro. No, la Vivian, que ahorita me va a mandar algo. Ya sabía, güey, ya sabía. Hola, buenas tardes.
Okay, so just keep in mind, Vivian is watching her live stream right there, and she keeps on telling Valeria to, like, no, don't close the live, y le comienza a mandar regalos. This is the first gift.
Through the live.
Oh,
okay.
Pero le manda, pues, alguien se los manda a llevar.
Güey, Vivian, mejor dime que te gusto.
This is the first gift.
Será imposible. Ay. Hola, buenas tardes.
Now, this is the second gift.
Güey, la Vivian está enamorada de mí, te lo juro. ¡Mi vida! ¡Cantó! Vivian, ¿quieres ser mi novia? Aquí delante del público. Yo nunca me le he declarado a nadie, pero creo que tú eres el amor de mi vida. Fan de su relación.
Okay, so are we so everything there makes sense to what we were talking about, right? So Vivian le está mandando
the Starbucks.
Le mandó el Starbucks.
Y le mandó el puerquito.
El puerquito. Y le dice, pues, hey, parece que ahí le dice, hey, no te vayas de live. And le comienza a mandar regalos.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you recall or anything else that we should mention about that video?
No. I mean, from right there, we don't know where Erika's at.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. So, antes de este live o durante este live, Erika was working with Valeria, right?
Oh, okay. So at this point, Erika's in the shop.
Yeah, at this point, Erika's at the shop. I actually have a clip. So that's a good point that you bring that up.
¿Tienes? Me encantó. ¿Para que me haces batallar, criatura del Señor? Traes cambios. Gracias. Bye. El novio vino a traerle las uñas y le pagó. Así deberían de ser ustedes, perros. Gracias. Bye. Porque échenle tierrita a ese asunto. Ya no pichan ni una coquita ni nada de nada. Vean lo que, o sea,
Okay, hold on.
45 días antes de la cirugía y 45.
Okay, para mi parecer, Erika se mira inocente en ese video. Nada ahí me llama la atención.
Okay.
Like, check it out.
Me encantó. Para que me haces batallar, criatura del Señor. Traes cambios. El novio vino a traerle a las uñas y le pagó. Así deberían de ser ustedes, perros.
Y sí, ahí se mira como cuando vas y alguien te recibe, muchas gracias, y hasta se ríe. Pero si miras los captions, dice Erika al lado de Vale, la que terminó el en vivo. Just keep that in mind. My perspective is that it wasn't Erika. That's my perspective.
Okay.
From everything you've seen, have you even considered that?
No.
Okay. Why? Because everybody's mentioning that it was Vivian?
Yeah.
Okay. So just keep that in mind. From that, just looking at Erika, does she look like she has any guilt?
No.
Okay. Which people are saying that how can you switch up on your friend or your boss like that drastically, right? That's a big I guess that's a big theory. Like, how can you be like two different people, like from one moment to another?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add on to that?
No.
Okay, so at this point, Valeria le manda los regalos, el Starbucks.
No, Vivian.
Vivian le manda. Sorry, it's because for some reason I feel like all of them look like each other.
Dude, they look like fucking triplets. That's another red flag. Why would your friends want to look the same as you? Like, if your friend wants to look like you, y te tira indirectas, like, you gotta run away.
Right, so that's a big thing, right? All of them have a similar look, or at least we might be confused, right? Because of the similar names, similar, I guess, hairstyles.
I think Vivian looks more like Valeria.
Yeah, or Vivian is trying to look like Valeria, right?
Yes.
So as of right now, Vivian le mandó los regalos. Erika was there working with Valeria, I guess, during the day, right?
Yes.
And anything else that brings up to
No,
your mind?
not yet.
Okay. So now to Chelo's point, that you were saying Valeria was kind of like her gut instinct was pretty spot on. This is crazy. I'm not sure if you saw when Valeria was touching her head. And
she touched up here.
Yeah, and she's saying, "Oh man, I really have a bad headache." Did you see that? Insane. Look.
Se toca justo donde le dispararon.
Me dolió muchísimo la cabeza. Valeria de servicios, ahí en trabajo, sí.
Ya lo presentía.
That's crazy.
You know what? Right now, I remember right now that she's touching her head. You know that allegedly they say that when you die, your spirit or your soul goes out through here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. It's just so many like intuitions, speculations with this case.
I feel like if I've learned something is if you feel a certain way about somebody or a certain situation, it's most likely true.
Yeah, your gut instinct.
Your gut instinct never lies, and sometimes you're gonna. I feel like at the beginning, you might think that you're the one that's crazy, and you're like, like this person will never be like this to me, but. Nah, dude, I've learned that the hard way.
And Chelo, not to get into your personal business because I don't want to like take away from this, but you felt like that in the past.
Yeah.
And you've told me straight out.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
And you've told me straight out.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. But I'm glad you caught it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check it out.
Copie tus pestañas como volumen tecnológico.
So right there, obviously she touched her head. She kept on saying that she was super tired, and she just looks.
She's just feeling unwell.
Yeah, and she looks uneasy. right? Anything else that you want to mention?
No.
Okay, so you mentioned that her gut instinct was pretty much on point. They took the gifts to her. Erika was working there. Anything else that comes to mind? Any theories that you saw?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You want to skip to the next clip?
Yeah. So, okay. So should I jump into the actual incident, like the whole, how it played out?
Sure.
Or is there something that I should play before? Anything else that I should talk about before? Think about everything that you saw. Did you see? Okay, before I'll let you think about that, but something crazy that I saw was that Vivian, I guess before meeting Valeria, was a completely different person, and after she met Vivian, you can tell she tried to, or no, okay.
Vivian was a different person before she met Valeria.
Yeah, so Vivian was a completely different person until she met Valeria, and you can tell by the pictures and the way she acted that she was completely trying to imitate Valeria.
Oh, you know what? I saw a TikTok right now that you're saying that I guess Valeria, which is the girl that this happened to, I guess her nickname was Barbie. Or they would call her Barbie. And then as soon as all this stuff happened, Vivian changed her freaking TikTok name to Barbie.
Oh, shoot. That's
but she
insane.
wrote it like, it's BRBI, and then with the B as in Victor at the end.
like three V's.
Yeah, like triple B's. Yeah.
Check it out. So, esa es Valeria.
Yeah.
Esa es Vivian.
Yeah.
Y esa es
Oh,
Vivian.
shit.
Esa es Vivian después de conocer
a la Valeria.
a Valeria. So, eso es antes. Y hasta comenzó a usar
Even the eyes.
contactos
Yeah.
pupilentes para parecerse más
Yeah.
a Valeria. Crazy.
Dude, right now that I saw her with the black hair, me acordé del corrido de la rubia y la morena. You know, like, there's always the girl that's blonde and the girl that has black hair. But this girl was a girl with the black hair. Now she became blonde, too.
Yeah, and even, what's her name? Valeria kept on saying, like, hey, Vivian, ¿qué onda? ¿Estás enamorada de mí o qué onda? In el live, le dice.
I mean, I don't think that Valeria was into girls, but I just do think that she was just kind of like, why the hell is she, like, sending me all this stuff?
Yeah.
Or why is she being like this?
But I think, honestly, I feel like she was completely just obsessed with her.
Vivian?
Yeah.
Yes,
Vivian,
she was.
Vivian was obsessed with Valeria, or just super, super jealous of her.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a very good point that you noticed that she switched the name to Barbie, and I guess kind of like saying that, hey, like now I can be like
Barbie.
This person. But a lot of people are saying even though like she is gone, like you're not gonna have the aura or that light that Valeria had.
Well, yeah, that's true. But going back to the whole Barbie thing, if you think of Barbie, what comes to your mind? The word Barbie, like, what is Barbie?
Like a white girl.
A white doll with
Yeah.
blonde hair, colored eyes.
Yeah.
Now in the time we're in, like, there's many versions of Barbie, but ultimately Barbie's always gonna be the chick with the blonde hair and the blue eyes.
That's a good point.
Which is Valeria, and now we have Vivian, dude, that she's like one of the other Barbies, and she probably was trying to be the main one, but she's never gonna be the main one.
Damn.
Because there's only gonna be the top Barbie was Valeria.
That's
and
a good
this is just a
point.
wannabe like knockoff, maybe not knockoff brand, but she was like one of the other versions. Like now there's Barbie, like veterinaria, Barbie doctor, Barbie this, Barbie that, and they all look different.
But
then
the
the main one is always the one with that's white, that has blonde hair, that has the colored eyes, that has this, that has that, which is, right now technically was Valeria.
Wow, dude, I hadn't thought about it like that. Like, regardless, she's still gonna be an imitation.
Yes.
That's insane, dude. Okay. Anything else that we should mention so far? Okay, we mentioned that Vivian. So right now, if you notice, everything that we're talking about is Vivian. So is there any speculations that Erika has done or anything that you saw aside from being Valeria's employee?
No.
Okay, so why do you think people are saying that Erika was also involved?
Well, I was seeing a couple of TikToks where they read cards, and a lot of them were saying that it was the employee, which is Erika, and then the friend Vivian that were involved. But it wasn't just them two. It was other men that were involved, and I guess they were all planning this out before all of this happened.
Okay, so this is a good point that we haven't even touched. So who are these men that were saying that it was involved?
So allegedly there was one, I don't know his name, but the first person in this specific TikTok that I saw of this person reading the cards, they said it that Vivian and Erika were involved, and then it was her ex, which
El que le decían el doble R.
I think he's from the 4-letter cartel from Mexico, pero I don't know if he's the same one I don't think he's the same one that I guess she had an ex that was from Guatemala or Honduras. I don't know. It was like Central America.
Okay, I think you might be wrong because so there's something too. Okay, this is the confusing part because a lot of people were tagging this person, and I think earlier you were saying, oh yeah, she was dating this guy that wasn't
Mexican,
handsome at all, right? You said something like that. But the thing is that, and this is the crazy thing with social media, at times people will tag or just spread rumors across social media, and they were tagging somebody that had nothing to do with this. He was actually a sports reporter. And what happens is that I guess for any case that's trending, they always attach his picture to the case. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So they put his picture and they make it seem like he's part of it. But I guess it became like a meme almost.
Oh, yeah, because the one that I saw, like, you could see the body type, but the face was actually blurred out. You couldn't really tell the face.
Okay, talk about the double R and I'll pull up the picture of that guy. Okay, or who are the men that you were saying that they were supposedly involved?
It just said, like, it was an ex-boyfriend. That's why I was thinking it was the guy that I'm saying. I don't know if he was, like, I guess from Central Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I mean, not Central Mexico, Central America. And then it said it was a man. It was more than one man. So I was assuming it was him. And it was maybe, like, somebody else that she knew. And then it was the friends.
Okay. Pero ¿qué dijeron qué estaban diciendo de la doble R?
That he had something to do, like, unaliving her.
But why?
I don't remember exactly why. I don't know if because she broke up with him.
Uh-huh. Don't get distracted. Go ahead. So
yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't recall. Honestly, I didn't see the whole thing.
Okay, so they were saying that supposedly El Doble R had something to do with this. Why? Because they were no longer together and that he couldn't stand her being with somebody else. So one of the speculations was that supposedly Double R got in contact with her friend Vivian and possibly Erika to be cómplices with this incident that happened, right? Mm-hmm. Because he couldn't stand with like any of this happening, like any other man. Like he just was jealous and didn't want her to be with anybody else besides him. So that's one of the speculations that it might be one of those cases that it just had to do with jealousy. And he just got allegedly or possibly could have threatened both of them to make this case happen. Me possibly, I'm kind of 50-50 on that case. However, based on everything that I saw, I think Vivian had more to do with it than anybody else.
To me, that theory makes sense, but him being the person that he is and then the position and the power that he's in, if you think like a criminal, why would you leave any witnesses behind?
True.
Like, why?
True.
There's no point.
Pero a lo mejor pueden estar amenazadas.
Yeah, but then why do it on a live when there's gonna be more eyes on it? Like, why would they? Okay, let's say he did order this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, why do it while she was on live? Why not wait till she left, or why not wait when she was leaving?
Well, that's the thing. I think they didn't know that she was still live. Because you know how she reached over. So this is another thing too, and I'll play the video, right? It gets to a point that she mutes her live, and possibly people were thinking that she had ended the live, but in reality, all she did was mute the live. This is the part that also it's confusing, right? Because why would you mute it?
I saw a video about this, and it said that a lot of the times they say like the location or the whole name of the person that's it for, or the person that's delivering it.
Okay, so to avoid the delivery person saying like personal information.
Yeah, personal information over.
She muted
Yeah.
it, right? That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, and this is the guy that people were confusing.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So they use this guy as a meme for any trending news. They'll put his picture. They'll blur out his eyes and just post him, but it's a meme. So and people were confusing him for El Doble R because it went like super viral. And so he came out on Instagram or TikTok saying, hey, my sincere condolences to the family, but I have nothing to do with this. Like,
so how did this guy even become a meme?
I think it had to do with like X or TikTok. Not TikTok, X or Twitter.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but they use him as a meme. So yeah.
So that's kind of scary, because imagine like you had nothing to do with it, and now like me, dude, I was thinking that was the person they were talking about.
And what's something else that we've talked about in the past, right? That don't just read the headlines and go with the first thing that you see.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't know these people. But the first thing you do is start sharing it.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, right? But we always have to do our homework, and before accusing anybody, before speculating anything, watch a couple more videos, do your own research, but don't always take the first story as being factual.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said right now, you thought it was this guy. I initially thought it was him, but I'm like, wait a minute, this girl's super pretty. She's not going to go with this guy, even if he is. I know.
Wait, hold on. I'll have a comment to that.
Even if he has money, at one point, you're not going to go with this type of person.
True. But then it's like, if you need the money, or if you want the pretty, like the expensive stuff, don't you think that you're going to, like I feel like a lot of the times when people are put in certain situations, they might do things that later on they're going to regret. Which, if the whole theory of her dating this double R guy is true, like, unfortunately, dude, at the end of the day, like, yeah, she's young and maybe the guy's older. I don't know how old he is. But you think que él le iba a mandar a operar and he was going to be okay with her, like, leaving him, and then, like, he la operó pa él, no la operó pa alguien más, dude. So, obviously, like, of course, he was going to be freaking pissed. He wasn't going to be happy about it.
That's a good point, right? Like, once you got her, like, all done up, you're not going to want her to leave.
Yeah, so now it's like, ya te operé, ya te compré esto, te compré lo otro, y ahora me vas a dejar. Okay, so that's another thing that people were also mentioning, right? That she was 23 with a full-on business, like, all dolled up, like, all, like, I guess, with the work done, right? So they were saying she obviously was being like... She got the funds from somewhere else.
Que tenía un padrino, pues.
Yeah.
Que alguien le estaba dando el dinero to be this successful.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some people that with social media, they just blow up and they get money, right? I'm not sure if that's the thing out there as well in Jalisco, right? Possibly, right? You become successful on social media and you can hold your own. But a lot of people were saying that there's no way at 23 years old you can have all of that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, there's always those cases that people are just like very hardworking and they just succeed in life.
That's true. But then I also think that if she was dating this guy and he was funding a lot of these things, he wasn't just easily gonna let her off the hook that fast or tan fácil.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so that's another speculation too about Doble R. Any other ones? So we talked about Doble R, possibly, having something to do with it. You have a good point that if he like pays for surgeries and all that, and now they split, he's not gonna want to like let her go just like that. Then we also talked about Vivian being like that almost wanting to be exactly like her.
No, she wants to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
right?
wanting to, she wants.
But to be honest, somebody like her, dude, I think she's like scarred for life as well. If she had something, and this is all allegedly, we don't know, right? This is all speculations. However, if you were part of it or not part of it, with everything going on right now, like you're done for life almost, right?
Yeah.
Although earlier we were talking about that with social media, one thing is super trending like from one moment to another, and then next thing people forget about it. I wonder if this is going to be one of those cases, or if this case in specific is actually going to get solved and whoever was at guilt is actually going to face the consequences.
I mean, we don't know, pero ahora sí que como dicen pueblo chico, infierno grande, like to Zapopan is like a little town, dude, and like if there's something about pueblos, is like a lot of people know each other. I mean, I don't know how big Zapopan is, but this girl, wherever she goes to, if she stays here, like La Vivian, like they're just gonna they're gonna be like, oh, this was the girl that did this, like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Por eso lo van a conocer.
Okay, so quick reminder, we now have a call-in number where you guys can leave us voice messages, video calls. Let us know a story you would want us to share on the podcast, anything you want. The goal is being able to interact with the people that support the channel. Even if you're looking for love, we will find your true love on Hoy Nomas podcast. Also, for anyone that is interested on creating your own channel, we have our Amazon storefront linked in the description where you can find all the cameras we use, the microphones, the lights, the equipment where all of our podcasts are recorded to. If you need any help with editing services, we are able to produce your entire podcast, edit your short form content from Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. You can look at all of our content as reference and we got you covered. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can leave us a super thanks down below, which will help us tremendously, and we'll make sure to highlight that comment on the upcoming podcast and give you a shout out. Now back to the podcast. So I'm gonna play the actual video that how everything played out, where the delivery person actually comes into her boutique, and you can see her reaction, you can see everything that was going on, and that way you guys can actually see the event if you haven't already seen it on TikTok. You're good? Anything else that I should mention before I play it?
No, I'll give my theory about the whole end thing at the end, but...
Y me marca Erika y me dice, oye, bebé, es que te traen algo y que no sé qué, unas cosillas. Y me marca Erika y me dice, oye, bebé, es que te traen algo y que no sé qué, pero pues que te lo quieren entregar a ti. Y yo, pues más o menos llego como en una hora. Y ya dijeron de que,
Okay,
no.
hold on. What did she say? ¿Quién le dijo que le querían entregar algo?
Vivian.
No. I think she said Erika, right? Here.
Hold on.
Unas cosillas. Y me marca Erika y me dice.
Okay, y me marca Erika y me dice. So she's saying that Erika le marcó su empleada.
Oye, bebé, es que te traen algo y que no sé qué, pero pues que te lo quieren entregar a ti. Y yo, pues más o menos llego como en una hora. Y ya dijeron de que, no, es que mejor me espero a que llegue ella porque es muy costoso.
Okay, so ahí le dijeron a Erika, parece que le querían entregar el regalo a Erika, pero le dije, okay, this is a good point. Le dijeron a Erika, no, es que se lo queremos entregar a ella porque es muy costoso. I think that's key. I hadn't even thought about that. Unless Erika's part of it, pero si no se lo quisieron dejar a Erika, then almost that proves the innocence of Erika.
Or Erika's just trying to like not seem like she's involved, and that's what she's saying, like, oh, no me lo quisieron dejar a mí, they wanted to give it to you.
Okay. And you can tell by her face, she's already kind of like...
Yeah, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
A mí que me va a andar regalando algo.
She's already confused.
Güey, a lo mejor me iban a matar, güey.
¿Ves? You see?
Yeah, right there she said, a lo mejor ya me querían matar.
Okay, but then the Erika girl that's in the back, she says no. She says no right away.
Okay, let's see.
Go back.
Regalo costoso. Y aparte... En una hora regreso. ¿Y en qué venía? ¿En moto? Me iban a levantar. Okay.
So right there, she's like, she seems very, very like,
Yeah, she's trying to put two and two together.
Yeah, she's very, very, like, it almost seems it's too hard to be true, right?
Yeah. Keep playing it.
Güey, me quedé preocupada.
I think this is the part where the delivery guy shows up.
Ya viene.
Right there.
Hola. Sí.
She turns off, she mutes the live right there. She mutes it. And that's when the incident actually takes place. And yeah, you can see her like slowly drop.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. And okay, at the very end, that's the part that a lot of people are...
The hair looks just like Erika, dude. Look at the waves. Erika, if you go to the very beginning, Erika had like the hair like así.
Okay, watch. So you can kind of see that somebody turns off the live right there.
Okay, play. Okay.
Okay, you can barely see it, but I have videos where people actually slow down the video.
A ver. Because I was paying attention to Erika's hair since the beginning.
Se dieron cuenta de este gesto en su expresión facial.
So that's the person that turns off the live, and you're saying that the waves were very similar to Erika's, right?
Yeah, but hold on, because now from this point of view, I feel like her blonde looks more up here to the root.
Okay.
And Erika's is more like
lower.
Mid, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. But okay, let's look at this video and we'll analyze it right now.
Okay, play it.
So right here, this person is only focusing on the face expression, right?
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like, oh, like we got her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right, kind of like we got it. Mm-hmm. But I honestly feel, and this is the point that I want to bring up since the very, very beginning. And it's since we mentioned that all of them had a similar look. They were, I guess, all associated one way or another. But I think I might have solved it. I think I might have solved the case based on this speculation. Okay. So this is the person that turns off the light, right?
Okay.
Look at her lips. Can you tell anything? They look plumpy, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, they
Not
look
too much.
Well, they look plumpy. They look full,
Yeah,
right? They just look full. Okay. Now, okay.
Okay, yeah, I see
Hold
him
on.
from there.
I want to show you something. Look at the teeth.
Yeah,
Straight.
yeah.
Okay, pretty straight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at the first video with Erika.
Me encantó. ¿Para qué me haces batalla? El novio vino a traerle las uñas y le pagó. Ustedes perros.
Okay, so this is Erika. Look at her hair. Okay, like you were saying.
Oh, no, the other girl looks like her hair's longer.
Longer, and look at where the roots are starting, right? Now, I want you to see this.
¿Dónde está el partido? On like her
Okay.
right side. Or no, her middle?
Fuck, I can't zoom it in. But can you see her lips?
Oh, she has fucking thin ass lips.
She has thin lips, dude. And her teeth are crooked.
I can't tell the teeth,
Okay,
but I can
let
tell
me
her
see if I
lips.
can. There was a video or a screenshot. I don't know if I can zoom it in. Oh, there we go. Look,
Oh.
her teeth are crooked right there. And look at her lips, super thin.
Yeah.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
And nobody has caught that. The other video that I saw, or that we both saw right now, her lips were full.
And they were straight.
And straight teeth.
And it almost looked like she had veneers.
Exactly.
And the hair looked longer too.
And the roots of the hair,
Looks more to the...
they were higher up.
Yeah.
Look. Okay, right there. Look, you can see the thinness.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
thin lips.
And then her hair's almost to the shoulder.
Yeah. I want to show the teeth where
Échele tierra. Bye.
the teeth went straight.
Okay, go back to the other video and
Así deberían de ser ustedes perros.
where it ends, because I want to see what the girl, like, let me see what the girl that ends alive, what is she wearing? Because this girl's wearing a necklace.
It's hard to see, dude. I was trying to
Oh.
focus on that, but let's play it.
¿Se dieron cuenta de
Look,
este gesto?
look at those lips, dude. And look at the roots,
Yeah.
right? And look at la partida del pelo. It's super close, like it's very, very thin. And it's almost like a triangle at the very top.
Yeah. Okay, keep
Esto
playing.
en su expresión facial.
Look, straight teeth, full lips.
Yeah, a ver, keep playing it.
And now, so this is the part. Let me see if it shows. Okay, I don't think it showed anything else. But this is the part where in the beginning of the podcast I was mentioning, Erika seemed like a sweet girl. But then everybody's like, oh, how can you switch up on like that? Maybe there's people like that, but she almost seemed like she was out there just doing her job, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hola, bye, see, even like riéndose and all of that stuff. Now people can say, yeah, but she's evil. However, with this right here, I think this is huge proof that it probably wasn't Erika that turned off the live, and Vivian showed up with the delivery person.
So you think there's one shooter or there's multiple shooters?
So who knows? There was actually somebody else. They left a comment, and I think I might have saved it, that they were saying that the delivery person showed up with Vivian. Somebody said that they were there on the incident as well. What do you think, that there was one or multiple?
I think there was at least 2 shooters, because when she gets shot the first time, she's looking at the delivery guy like this way, and the shot comes from the opposite way.
Okay.
So if you think about it, dude, if the delivery guy would have like pointed at her, she would have done like, you know, like trying to get away or something. But she never looks shocked or surprised.
Yeah.
She's just like, it just happens, and then that's when she grabs herself.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But then at the same time, they're saying that if it was the delivery person, which I don't know, it's hard to believe, right? Or it's not hard to believe, it's hard to like really know. That's the big debate. But then at the same time, they were saying that he could have easily had the artifact inside of the bag, and that way Valeria wouldn't have been able to see the actual artifact that unalived her.
But then, don't you think that if, okay, let's say the guy would have had the artifact hidden, and he would have done it, don't you think it would have, the puerquito would have like se hubiera desplomado?
I have a video for that.
Okay.
Okay. Before we showcase that, look, this goes back to my theory.
Okay, play.
Yo estaba poniendo mis videos en TikTok y de repente me mandan esto, que le ponga atención a esto. Y dice así: yo estuve en ese lugar cuando mataron a Vale, y esa mujer que la llaman Vivian llegó justo con el repartidor encapuchado. Yo tengo pruebas y las mostraré porque quiero justicia. Y Erika también es culpable. Fuertes declaraciones.
So this is the thing, right? We don't know if Erika's innocent or she was part of it. But my belief, it was the one that turned off the life. It was Vivian.
I think now that we're more looking in depth into like this part, it looks more like Vivian than Erika.
Going back to the initial thing that we were talking about right in the beginning of the podcast, who was the one mandándole regalos? Hey, I want to see your face. Quiero mirar tu cara cuando recibas.
And she said, oh, es un regalo muy costoso. And dude, like, literal, le costó la vida.
Yeah.
It wasn't like expensive as in monetary, but it cost her life.
So now let's go ahead and see what you were talking about, which was the actual event that happened. So en este video se va a enseñar cuando la bala le pega a Valeria, pero se alcanza a mirar dónde pega la bala primero. Y muchos dicen que es por la espalda, pero a la vez se mira también que puede ser por enfrente.
Okay.
Señores, deben fijarse bien en la onda que se hace al costado. A ella no la desviven de frente. El primer impacto fue de lado. Si el repartidor hubiese sacado el aparato, ella hubiese tenido otra reacción. Ella está viendo en dirección contraria de donde provino el impacto. Alguien detonó primero.
Yeah.
So what'd you see? Did you see the wave? Watch.
Impacto fue de lado. Si el repartidor hubiese sacado el aparato.
Are you able to see now?
Replay.
Okay. You're able to see the screen,
Ella
right?
hubiese
Yeah.
tenido
Look.
otra reacción.
Look
Ella
at there.
está viendo
You see
en
that?
dirección
Oh,
contraria
I see
de
her
donde
arm.
provino el
Okay.
impacto.
But, okay, you saw the arm, right?
Yeah.
But what a lot of people missed, what they should have been pointing to first, is the pig. Look at his
Ella
left
hubiese
ear.
tenido otra reacción.
Oh.
Fue
Look.
de lado. Si el repartidor hubiese sacado el aparato, ella hubiese tenido otra.
Watch.
El primer impacto fue de lado. Si el repartidor hubiese sacado el
You see
aparato,
that?
Yeah.
The ear went down.
Mm,
And then you see the shock wave to her arm.
ella
yeah.
hubiese tenido otra reacción. Ella está viendo en
You see
dirección
that?
contraria
But
de donde
first,
provino el impacto.
it
Alguien
hit the
detonó
ear.
primero.
Mm.
Señores, deben fijar.
You see that? So I had heard about that theory that it was from the back, but it could have been possibly through the front. And the artifact could have been inside of the bag. Or maybe somebody else came and just did it.
Or what if she was talking to the repartidor, which was the guy that we hear, and then if Vivian was with him, she could have shot from the side. And she wasn't gonna expect it because she just had two delivery people.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's just going back to Erika, going back to el repartidor. I feel like you can tell a lot by a person's voice, right? Cuando llegó el repartidor, you go, hola, Vivian or Valeria. It sounds too nice of a person, right? I know that if you're like into that, I feel like, I don't know, man, it's hard. But I feel like if you're about to do something like that, you just go and do your thing, right?
I mean, if this person is trying to do that, dude, they already have like, they don't care.
Yeah, and Erika just, okay, so yeah, you might be right. But then Erika too, she seemed like she was very sweet. The only person that seemed like she had a motive, it's almost Vivian, dude. And possibly her ex. And maybe Erika and the delivery guy were just there.
But then, don't you think that the delivery guy and it's because the freaking live was muted.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't you think that you were gonna hear them scream in the background, but it was muted, so you can't even tell.
Oh, yeah, you can't tell. That's a hard thing. And something else that they were mentioning is that all the cameras in her boutique or in salon
We're off.
Yeah, were off or were removed because supposedly they weren't of good quality.
They would.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many speculations. I really, really think the person that turned off the live is Vivian. And then, to my point, somebody who knows if this is factual, but supposedly a witness said that they saw Vivian pulling up with the delivery person. And especially her knowing that there was going to be an expensive gift showing up for her.
I think they were all involved in it, but...
Or amenazada. Maybe Erika estaba amenazada.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. Like,
what do you think?
I think I could tell. I feel like Vivian has the biggest. Ahora sí que Vivian's the biggest hater, but La Erika, I don't know. But from what you were analyzing of the live, it does look like it's not Erika the one that turns it off.
Yeah. And anything else that you saw? Like, I think we saw a post earlier also that el abuelito lo estaban entrevistando las noticias y como que no querían que hablara.
And then just grab him by the shoulder and pulled him out.
Yeah. A lo mejor han de tener miedo también.
Yeah, God knows like what they've told him or...
Sí. O a lo mejor ya saben quién es. Porque hasta la mamá no quiso decir mucho. Aquí tengo un post, parece, cuando la mamá sale.
I haven't seen the mom talk, so I don't know.
En el video se ven evidentemente varias personas que están ahí inmiscuidas.
Dos de las tías de Valeria Marquez ya han roto el silencio y han dado sus declaraciones ante las cámaras. Mientras que una pide justicia diciendo que no solamente Jalisco, sino todo el país está mal. La otra dice que las evidencias están precisamente en los videos.
Sin crear presión, ¿te sospechan de algo?
Pues sería juzgar. Obviamente, pues las autoridades tienen la última palabra. En el video se ven evidentemente varias personas que están ahí inmiscuidas y bueno, pues que las investigaciones las haga quien las tiene que hacer y sobre todo las personas más cercanas que estuvieron en los últimos momentos familiares.
Prácticamente la responsiva en esa situación se la adjudica a la persona que estuvo en los últimos tiempos con ella. Y obviamente no estamos hablando del tirador, está hablando de Erika, quien estuvo con ella en sus últimos momentos.
Ok, eso sí, Erika estuvo ahí.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Erika estuvo ahí. Si ella fue culpable o no, ella estuvo ahí. So ella she's a key witness.
Yeah.
La violencia no sea un día a día y que lo veamos como algo común.
El error de Jalisco es eso, normalizar lo que
de
está...
todo el país. El error es del gobierno principal federal, no nomás de mi gobernador. Es federal, porque no nomás aquí en Guadalajara se suscita esto. En todo el país.
Es cierto lo que está diciendo esta tía. Está hablando desde las entrañas, desde ese coraje que tiene a que todos estos casos nunca se resuelven. Y no solo en Guadalajara, sino en todo el país. Una tras otra, con cámaras, vigilancia y muchísima gente. De hecho, quedaron testigos. No es que haya sido un tiro a todos los que estuvieran dentro del lugar. Fueron con ella certeramente, con ella y nadie más. Y todas las personas que estuvieron presentes no han podido dar una declaración suficiente para localizar a la persona. De hecho, ni siquiera un boletinazo han dado con un retrato hablado. Que no hay necesidad porque hay cámaras. ¿Tú qué opinas?
Yeah. By any chance, did you see... ¿Sí viste el reporte de las noticias que cuántos impactos fueron y eso?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, this is something that happens more often than we think. It was just the difference that this was actually live when we all saw it.
Yeah, live, and then I think that was the biggest thing, right? That she was live, and then also because of she had an influence and she was like really pretty, so it just made everything bigger, right? So este es el reportaje de las noticias.
Daba 4 heridas por arma de fuego.
4 heridas por arma de fuego.
En el cráneo y 3 en el tórax. El
1 en el cráneo y 3 en el tórax.
cuerpo de la joven ya fue entregado a sus familiares y está en el proceso de ser embalsamado para luego llevarlo a la funeraria que se ubica ahí sobre Avenida López San Mateo Ciangulo en el municipio de Guadalajara. Esta influencer, María Márquez, de 23 años, bueno, de acuerdo con la propia, todo lo que se ha estado mencionando en redes sociales, presentaba 4 heridas por arma de fuego.
Crazy, huh? Did you see the post where they say people were still able to hear Valeria after she passed?
No.
Yeah, people were saying that.
And then, okay, now I'm thinking about something else. If it would have been the ex, why wouldn't he just disappear her? That wouldn't been way easier.
True.
Than just having like all these people involved, because don't you think like having more people involved, somebody's gonna talk at the end. Like somebody's gonna fold.
Why not just send one of your guys, right?
Yeah, dude. Like if they have money for that, or like one. I mean, like there could be so many other ways, but I just feel like him mandando a la Vivian or sending somebody from her inner circle would be more chaos, and it would be more likely of them folding than him sending somebody from their people.
Yeah. This is the video that... So in this video, you can actually hear, or people are speculating that after Valeria passed, you can still hear Valeria's either spirit saying, Valeria, ¿qué me hiciste? Or Vivi.
Vivian, ¿qué me
or
hiciste?
Vivi, ¿qué me hiciste?
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. You heard it?
Yeah.
And this is like when people are just recording outside of the incident. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I got the chills.
So sad, man. So young, 23 years old, dude. Yeah.
If there's something that I've learned is that whenever you feel a certain way about a person, or they start being like you, or they, oh my gosh, they have this phrase that they love to say. What is it? I think if I'm not mistaken, they say like that little phrase que I freaking hate, que dicen, eso mamona. When somebody says that phrase, they're like, they're not your friends, dude. Like,
well, why? Why that phrase?
I feel like a lot of videos that I've seen from other girls, like being or distancing themselves from somebody that was not really their friend, the friend used to say that phrase a lot. And that's true.
Why do you think that's true?
Because what I went through.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, este fue el Starbucks de desafortunadamente. Este fue el Starbucks de que desafortunadamente Valeria nunca se pudo acabar. So sad, right? At that moment, she's just enjoying. At that moment, she's just enjoying her Starbucks, doing a live, and never expected that was going to be her last moments. And that goes with anything in life, right? That you just never know when your last moments are going to be.
Mm-hmm. But I think this is more touchy because we all witness her feeling all these things. And then it just happens.
Yeah. Like one moment she's full of life, joking around, having a good time. And yeah.
Dude, but like, how bad does it have to get for somebody to be like, dude, I really want to have what this person has, or I really want to be her, to just be like, dude, like, I need to get rid of this person? Like, how crazy do you have to be to get to that point?
Yeah.
Like, how obsessed?
Crazy. I don't know, man. Just.
Oh my gosh, right now that I'm saying this, there was another video that I saw that I guess the Vivian chick too had something to do with the ex de la Valeria.
Really? How
yeah.
so?
Like, I guess she was messing around with him too.
Oh,
or
really?
like after Valeria.
Yeah.
So then it's like, if this girl was messing around with her best friend's ex, like,
yeah.
Come on.
Was there any proof, or was it just a TikTok?
It was just a TikTok.
Okay, so it's just one of those things. It's because right now it's all speculations, right? I heard about that too, though. That supposedly there was something to do with a guy, and then now that Valeria and Paz Descanse is no longer here, then she can be with him.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think I have one more video. Oh, okay. So right before, I think in one of the occasions where Valeria and Vivian were hanging out. Now, this is the thing. Who knows? Here, let me rephrase that. So when Valeria and Vivian were hanging out, like back in the days or whatnot, or past days, supposedly Vivian was doing signals and showing the people that this event was actually going to take place. Now, it might be that she's actually just singing along to a song, and it just so happens that she does these phrases or these hand symbols, but it's kind of weird. So it's coming up right there. There's music playing in the background, so I can't play it. But check it out. These are the hand symbols that she does to the camera.
Tres disparos, mueres y te vas. Una llamada y se acabó. Ahí está diciendo claramente ella lo que tenía preparado.
You see that?
Una llamada, 3 señales, interpretemos.
Right there, watch.
Está mirándola en vivo. 3 señales, 3 disparos, mueres y te vas. Una llamada y se acabó. Ahí está diciendo claramente ella lo que tenía preparado para hacerlo a Valeria. Ella como si nada. Pero ella...
I think she might have made it like, oh, it's a joke, pero ahora sí, como dicen, entre broma y broma, la verdad sí.
Yeah, dude. It's just so many different conspiracies, so many different speculations. I hope they solve the case. And there's more cameras out there, dude. And
there's more witnesses too.
For sure. People know. And I just really, really hope they solve this case. Because it's very unfair. And like we were saying earlier, this is not a unique case. It might be unique for everything that happened, but things like this happen
all the time.
Yeah, almost on a daily basis. But we don't hear of many of these cases just because this one in particular just went super viral and trending. But if you guys made it to this point of the podcast, if you guys finished watching it, what emoji should they drop? A pig, and for Valeria, of the little piggy and some wings,
or the dove.
A dove.
The pig and the dove.
The pig and the dove. Whatever emojis you guys want to leave behind, just let us know your guys' thought
Anything
process.
pink for Barbie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because honestly, the pink doesn't really symbolize her. I think pink, like pink hearts or something, because you could tell that she was, in her world, she was the Barbie, right? And just very unfortunate. But let us know what you guys think. Did we solve the case? Or did we have analysis that you guys agree on or disagree? But any final words?
I guess my final words would be that if you feel a certain way about a certain person, friendship, family member, whatever they are, then listen to your gut instinct, because your gut instinct never lies. A lot of the times they say your gut instinct is your higher self that is making you get away from that person or that situation or that place. So at times you might think like, oh, I'm acting out or I'm like crazy, but
your inner self knows.
Your inner self knows.
Yeah. Do you think I have a good point with what I pointed out about the lips and the teeth?
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't seen nobody talk about that.
Yeah, no. I hadn't seen it either.
All right. Once again, my name is Angel Houseman. Like I always like to say, it's a greater risk not taking a risk.
And we'll see you guys next time. And just leave all the pink emojis.
Till next time.
Bye.
Hoy no más.